This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I'm delighted to be joined by Ekow Essuman over Zoom. Ekow, it's been a while. How are you doing?
Good, thanks, Andy. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. It's good to catch up with you. Obviously, I imagine this has been a very frustrating period for yourself. Obviously, meant to fight Chris Jenkins for British and Commonwealth titles a few months ago. That being postponed, Chris pulling out due to a perforated eardrum. Just since then, what have you been up to? How have you been kind of ticking over, getting on with things?
Well, yeah. I mean, been a bit of a frustrating few months in terms of mine and Chris's potential fight, which is inevitable. It's gonna happen. But like we were supposed to fight at a certain point in time, fell through. We were supposed to fight again. He got injured. Now it's pushed back again. But in hindsight, you know what? It's not been that much of a bad thing because I've had like 3 camps to be able to work on all the nitty-gritty things I need to work on. Obviously, after the first camp, I was ready to go. I was so excited. I just wanted to get in there, do what I needed to do, fell through again. So that gave me a second chance at being able to just work on what I needed to work on and just solidify it and make sure that when it comes to match day, I'm firing on all cylinders. And had some great sparring. Well, I've had some great sparring during these camps, sparring David Avanesian and Lewis Ritson. And one thing that stuck out with me was I asked Avanesian how he was. It was whilst he was preparing for Josh Kelly. I asked him how he felt about the match being postponed and pushed back. And he just said, yeah, it's been pushed back, but it just gives him more time to work on what he needed to work on. And obviously, we all saw the dividends of what happened, the fruits of his labor, it all paid off. So that just sat with me. So after that, I just thought, you know what? The match is going to happen. Just keep working on what I need to do. And then just be excited in the fact that when it comes to the match, I'll be able to show everyone what I've been working on. So I'm happy with that. I'm in a good place.
Ekow, just with kind of the postponements, how have you found trying to effectively look after your weight? You know, you're getting close to fight weight, and then the fight's off. You're gonna have not necessarily putting back up, but you put it back on, and so in a repeated circle.
Yeah. Just like when you have a match, you have to have some time off, some time to rest and recover from the camp. Because most of the time, people aren't just resting and recovering from the match. It's the whole camp, like all those 8 weeks or however many weeks you've been pounding the pavement. You've been doing your SNC. You've been really putting yourself through it, and you need time off to rest and recover. So obviously, when the matches get called off for whatever reason or postponed, I'm there resting, recovering, regrouping, ready to go again.
You've made it abundantly clear for best part about a year and a half, 2 years now, Ekow. You've wanted that British title at least. I know the Commonwealth title's there as well, but you've wanted that British title. Have you ever thought about stepping away from it just because of the problems you've had with the delays and the postponements?
Oh, naturally, I would go for, after the British, you'd want to go for, say, the Commonwealth or some kind of European title. And thanks to Frank Warren, he gave me the shot at the European before the British and snatched it with both hands. So obviously IBF European champion. And so really, I want to get that British because it's going to help my ranking. And once my ranking goes higher, then I can push for higher belts. So it's just a means to an end because I want to get to the top. I just need to work my way up there.
With this extra time that you've had to work on this particular fight with Chris, what have you been working on in particular?
Well, I can't give away too much, but I've just been, you don't want to focus too much on your opponent and what they do, because what they did in past matches with other people, they might not necessarily do with you, with your style. So I've looked at little gaps in what he does, and what I've been working on is just being the best me, and being the best me, I'll be able to exploit all the holes in his defense and turn them into a big detriment for him.
When are you hopeful of the pair of you sharing the ring then, Ekow?
Uh, can't say too much, but sooner than most people think.
Can you give us any more?
Fight dates will be dropping soon.
um, Ekow, obviously, you've got a number of other British welterweights. I'm sure you've kept an eye on and how they've been
Yeah.
getting on. Just for yourself, in case not, you were to cross paths with them at some point. What's it been like seeing the likes of the Conor Benns, the Michael McKinsons, Florian Marku, David Avnisian, as you mentioned, somebody you sparring. What's it been like watching them get out throughout the pandemic in big fights when you've had to kind of put everything on hold?
Like wait on mine. Uh, well, you just have to take a step back from things. Obviously, when it's my time to shine, I'll come and shine. Like we can all shine together. It doesn't really matter. And after I get what I've got my eyes set on, and I have to defend it, then like all the smoke, like just I welcome all the smoke. Everyone will be going for the jugular anyway, so they'll all be coming for me instead of me chasing them. So it is what it is, really. I mean, you gotta respect them. I'm happy for them. They're doing well. And in that respect, when we fight or when I fight them, when I beat them, then I've beaten people that are credible and doing well as well. So to me, it just is what it is, really. Yeah.
Obviously, both Connor and Michael are both British. David and Florian are not. But out
Yeah.
of all their performances, is there anybody who's stood out for you? Anybody who has particularly impressed you during the pandemic?
Well, I had an interview the other day, and I said, like Conor Benn's had a good matchmaker because all his opponents have been kind of catered to his style. That doesn't mean he's not improving. He's improved a hell of a lot since he turned pro and since a certain point of his career. So he's a very credible fighter. Um, one fight I'd love to see is him and McKinson because I know McKinson's a bit of a nightmare and a awkward southpaw, and I wouldn't mind fighting him either when the time's right. And yeah, the likes of David Avnisian. Yeah, I like him. We sparred a lot. If it ever came to a fight, it'd just be what it is. But I like his style. Yeah. But if anyone sticks out the most, probably Avnisian. And I've sparred Florian Marku as well. He's dynamite in his own regard.
What is how would you assess Florian? What do you make of him as a fighter? Because he has his critics. Some people look at him as just a bit of a fun fighter, see where he goes. Same as like an Alan Babbage. Others think he has that talent, he could go far. From your experience with him, Ekow, what do you make of him as a fighter? Where do you think his career can go?
It can go anywhere really. Just um he's got the skills. He's got a big toolbox of skills. He just needs to manage how he uses them and when he uses them. And he's obviously looking for that fight with Conor Benn. And I think that would be a good fight because it would test both of them really. It would test Conor with someone who can move a bit, is a bit slick, like a good mover on their feet. And for Florian, he'll be met with someone who can actually put the pressure on him and won't let him be comfortable. So those would be wicked fights.
Ekow,
Like the scene is just full of wicked fights, basically.
You mentioned Michael McKinson. Possibly, you'd like to see him face Conor Benn. You'd like to see Florian face Conor Benn. For you yourself, let's say Chris Jenkins' fight goes ahead, goes to plan, you win. Would you be up for facing Conor immediately after that if a deal could be agreed? Obviously, you're both on the other side of the street, shall we say?
Yeah, different sides of the street. I mean, if they could make it, then why not? It'd be a big fight. Everyone would be gassed. We'd both be gassed. It just is what it is. Boxing.
Just get your thoughts on obviously their fights which are coming up. Benn versus Granados. What do you make of it?
I need to look a bit more into Granados before I can say anything. To be honest.
Obviously, all of those guys having fight dates, Connor, Florian, and Michael. Are there any of their opponents who you have much knowledge on?
Uh, Not per se. I mean, in the next few weeks, I'll be looking over them, seeing what they're up against, and then just seeing how the fights unfold.
How much of a close eye do you take when you have somebody in the welterweight division, certainly at least domestically, takes place at Ekow? Are you tuning in, every Saturday or Friday night, whenever the fight would be?
Yeah, I don't need to watch it live, but I'll tune in whether it goes on YouTube later on or whether I can get it somehow like later on. I do watch all the fights. I mean, you have to keep your eye on it because I mean, these are all my peers. We're all doing our thing. I'm noticing certain people where they're improving in certain aspects of their repertoire, and I'm thinking, okay, so I know what to watch out for with certain people, and you have to read in between the lines. But yeah, you've got to keep your eye on the ball.
I mean, just a final one, Ekow. Manny Pacquiao and Errol Spence was a shock announcement to many. What are your thoughts once again up at 147?
Oh, ah, that would be a good match. I don't know how it will end because to me, you just think, yeah, youth would do its thing, and Spence would probably overpower Pacquiao with his just precision and strength. By the same point, Pacquiao's that kind of if Pacquiao on a good day comes, then that's a different story because you could have said that when Pacquiao for Thurman as well. So it's one of those things. But I think, in all honesty, I think I side with Spence. Yeah.
Right, Ekow. Just before I let you go, a final word from yourself. Also, for everybody who's going to tune in and while waiting for news of the next announcement of your career, just final words. Everybody's going to obviously follow you, support you, and will continue to do so.
Yeah. Guys, just keep following and supporting me. At me on Instagram, Twitter. We'll have a laugh and all that. Can't wait till my next fight date lands, and I especially can't wait to show all of you what I've been working on. Thanks for having me.
Ekow, it's a pleasure to catch up with you. Stay safe, and I will speak to you again soon. Thank you for speaking to Boxing
Right, you
Social.
too, Andy.